My name is Ann Brockland. I'm a plaintiff personal injury attorney in St. Louis at the Simon Law Firm.
My name's Adam Caine. I'm a Special Assistant United States Attorney in the Western District of Missouri and a former Jackson County, Missouri Assistant Prosecutor.
Cara Rose, and I'm a partner at Wallace Saunders.
I have great clients who I like to work hard for, and my approach is, persistence and working hard, and it's easy to do, and it's easy to stay late when your client is a child or someone who's injured and counting on you. I think the cases I'm most proud of are the ones where I have children as clients, and they're also the cases that are the most stressful to handle because they really need the money to survive and prosper, and so that's a heavy burden, but those are the ones I'm most proud of at the end of the day, when you can get them a good result and you know that they're at least financially going to be able to take care of themselves.
When you're a prosecutor, it's a little different. Your client is not only the government, but the people of the state and the country that you represent, and you're charged with justice and doing the right thing, but along with that, you really are supposed to be making the community a better place and a safer place. So, it depends on the day on what you're looking out for. Some days it's a grandmother who had her life savings cleaned out by her grandson who was supposed to be taking care of her. Maybe it's a homicide victim's family who's just had their lives ripped apart. And maybe it's a defendant who you have to show respect to when you're having a sentencing or some type of trial. But the weight of that responsibility is enormous, but it's also a great joy when you get to go do a job like that and you get to go do what's supposed to be the right thing every day.
I get nervous still, and I get anxious, but to be able to take everything that you've been working on and put it together and present the best case you possibly can and allow the jury to rifle through the facts and determine what they think is important, it's still a thrill for me to be able to present the case and see what the jury thinks after the judge determines what they get to hear. To me, it's really important to be involved from the beginning, even reviewing medical records myself instead of passing that off to someone else. It's difficult because as you get busier and busier, it's harder to make sure that you handle each and every element of the case. But to at least have some involvement in each element is important to me anyway, to be able to then recall that information when you're in trial, when it may not be as easy to do if you haven't looked at everything yourself.
I think that my advice to others would be to not overly concern yourself with the advice of others. I mean, we all have our different strengths and weaknesses, and what I'm going to be comfortable doing, somebody else isn't going to be comfortable doing, and what I'm going to be confident in saying, somebody else is not going to be confident in saying. And so you really have to, at some point, let everything go and just trust yourself.
I think anytime you're part of an adversarial process, that can be a challenge for somebody who's kind of new to trial work. And I think it's important to remember that just because somebody's an opposing counsel and an adversary doesn't make them an enemy. I think it's important to realize that the defense attorney and the judge you have on one case are probably going to be the defense attorney and judge you have on another case, especially if you're a young prosecutor, and your honesty and integrity goes a long way because at some point you need those people to trust you. It's not about playing games and trying to get one by, no matter what side of the case you're on, because that says more about you than the result that you get, and that carries with you as you go forward in your career. And so I think remembering that's really important, that no matter what your role is, the legal community, no matter where you are, isn't that big of a place. And doing your job with integrity and honesty and fairness is really important.
I would say to just work hard, put in the time and effort. My dad was not an attorney, but he taught me work ethic and the ability to not always do exactly what you want to do. Sure, there's days that I would prefer not to be in the office, but it's important to get your work done and to enjoy life separately sometimes. I have 3 kids and I love them dearly, but I also know that I owe my job and my profession to be in the office when I need to be and get work done. So don't be afraid to work hard, and the benefits will come.